So I got horse meat shirts almost gone, long sleeves are gone, hats are gone. So horsemeet.shop, link in my Instagram bio, horsemeet1. Yeah, dude, the back. What's up, guys? Another day, another dollar. Anyway, today's video topic is 3 ways that a long distance relationship can be intimate. There's 3 ways that I can think of, right? First being like FaceTime sex. Now when I say FaceTime sex, right, you're probably like, what is that? I've never done that before. It was a big thing in my high school because people couldn't have sex really because, like, you know, it's like they you know, didn't have cars or something, or like their parents were home. It's like mutual, like you know what I'm saying? You're like stroking it on FaceTime, essentially. Ways to do this better than others, you know what I'm saying? Don't do it on the toilet, you know what I'm saying? FaceTime sex was a huge thing, and people didn't really want to do it like on the toilet, you know what I mean? They would nut on FaceTime. Then you got like nudes, you know what I'm saying? You know, regular Snapchat kind of nudes, but be careful who you send nudes to unless you really trust them, because you don't want to get like extorted and stuff like that. I got into this whole thing recently where it was like, you know, people were getting blackmailed for their nudes. I had a buddy get extorted by some like Nigerian dudes. Basically, they made a fake account, right? Blackmailed. This happens to a lot of people. Blackmailed, like they posed as a, you know, hot girl sending him nudes, right? He ends up sending dick pictures with his face in it. And they basically said, send $2,000 or we're sending this to your all your friends and family, blah, 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 like facing it. Like, so they were like, oh, and so then he was all tweaking and shit because they were gonna send his dick pics to our whole school, his friends, his family. So he basically borrows $2,000 from like a group of people, like just collecting money, pays them to $2,000, right? He pays them the $2,000. They basically go, like, leave him alone for 3 weeks, and then they'll like pay us another $1,500, $1,700, or we're going to release your nudes anyway. Right? Yeah, at this point he's begging, right? He's like, please, like, I already sent you $2,000, please. These Nigerian dudes were not letting up. So he goes to his dad. He's like, Dad, I got in some trouble. I need $1,500, and the dad's like, what the fuck? Why do you need $1,500? Like, what's happening? Do you owe someone money? Like, he thought he like got in a gambling loan shark fucking situation. He explains the situation to his dad, right? And he's like, Dad, look, they have my dick pics. They're blackmailing me. Dad gives him his $1,500. He pays them another $1,500, right? Then maybe another month or 2 months later, they ask for more money, like another $1,500, right? At this point, he's like, I can't do it. I don't have any. He thinks because he paid them enough money already, they wouldn't release it. Maybe not even 2 days later, because I was in the school, all of us in school, his grandmother, like long distance relatives, we all got DMs or messages of his dick pics, and we all saw that shit. You get caught in one of those blackmail situations, don't pay them money because they're gonna release your shit anyway, regardless, because it's like you're getting your dick pics leaked regardless, right? It's happening. Please don't also be out like $5,000. You know what I'm saying? A little off topic there, but yeah, you could always do nudes. You could do sexting. I personally think sexting is corny. Like when you're like typing it out, it's almost like fan fiction. It's like you know, it's similar to like smut, but like you're participating. Like, oh, what are you gonna do when I get over there? What are you wearing right now? You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. I think it's corny. You know what I'm saying? Imagine getting that shit screenshotted. Oof, nightmare scenario. And gets sent to your group chat. It's like, yo, what's this? It's like, you know, recently there was a whole thing about this guy getting dominated in a sexting situation. She was like, yeah, who's a good little boy? And he was like, me, I'm a good little boy. She's like, are you stroking it for me? He was like, yeah, I'm stroking it. It was all over text. There was no images, no pictures. All that shit got leaked. Now, I don't know how long a lot of you guys have been around here, but I've done a lot of different things over the last couple months. Streaming was a big one, and streaming VR chat. You know, one of the things that I found in VR chat, you know, I really did think that for long distance couples, this could be really cool. Or let's say you have a long distance girlfriend. So essentially what I'm talking about is VR sex, e-sex, right? And it's not just like moaning and like, you know, role-playing sex. It's literal penetration. Yeah. So essentially what I found when I did some digging into VR was there's technology nowadays to have full-on real sex with someone in VR. Essentially, first you need a full body tracking VR headset suit, which is expensive as shit, but if you're really about that life, you know what I'm saying, where you're spending 9 hours a day like some of these people in VR chat, then, you know, it might be worth the investment. Second, you need an avatar. You need to get a hold of an ERP avatar. ERP stands for erotic role play. Okay, so, and what that means exactly is having sex in VR, right? And these avatars essentially have penises, right? They're fully customizable, that magnetize to the female versions of these avatars that have vaginas and assholes, and they can put on and take off clothes, right? And you can actually, you know, fuck people. And the extent this goes to is there's furry ones, dragon ones, anything you could imagine. The penis has physics, the boobs have physics, the vagina and ass have physics. Right, that's the second component. But these you have to get these avatars custom made by avatar creators and commissioned, right? Which is going to be a couple steps because the coding, from what I hear, is a little bit complicated. But once you have a nice working one, it's fine. Next, the last component that you need is what is called Love Sync, right? They're basically long distance sex toys that hook up with your VR headset and each other, right? I think it's called Love Sync or something like that. Basically, with these three components, right? Let's say you have a pocket pussy and a dildo or a vibrator linked to one another. It could be fucking thousands of miles, I don't know, right? Now, every time you thrust into that pocket pussy, the vibrator either vibrates or does something on that side. You know what I'm saying? So with each stroke, she can literally feel your strokes. You know what I'm saying? It's a dildo, it'll vibrate, blah, 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 whatever. Now, you pair these three things together because it links with your headset, they link to each other. And yeah, I saw all this firsthand. I was streaming for a while. I got really deep into it. You know, the Trans Academy thing where it's like if you're trans, they have like Trans Academy for voice changers, and people are like bringing their kids there and shit. It's very crazy. And like there's full-on schools and like lectures in VR. There's VR bars where people prefer to drink at a VR bar over a real bar, which I did try one time, and I'll tell you what, it was actually kind of fun. The people were super fucked up. I was like drinking with my headset on, and people were just telling me like the worst backstories I've ever heard. She's like, sorry, I gotta whisper, my dad has PTSD, and if I talk too loud he wakes up screaming, you know, like shit like that. But anyway, getting back to the topic, long distance relationship, you got the headset on, you guys are in the virtual like bedroom, blah blah blah, and it's pretty real, bro. If you never tried VR, like, you will get immersed. You have full body tracking, so you're fully in there, right? You got the ERP skin, your VR dick is out, it magnetizes to her vagina, so then you pull your actual dick out, and every time you thrust into her avatar, she feels it on her side because you're feeling the pocket pussy and she's feeling the vibrator vibrate. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So you are actually having full-on virtual e-sex. It also links up, so the mouth also magnetizes so you can suck people off with the avatars. Technology, man, it's crazy. Think about how it's going to be in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I recently went to the mall and they had this VR roller coaster where there's this giant chair that moves and you put a VR headset on, right? At first it was kind of pussy, and she was like, all right, let me crank you up to the crazy ones. And I was nauseous. It felt so real. But I'd never seen a chair like that moves. Like, I was like the chair and I had the VR headset on. But yeah, VR is getting crazy, man. I really want to get back into VR streaming. I don't have my PC. I'm going to New York in 2 days to get the next part of my tattoo done. Yeah. It's pretty wild, man. Oh, fuck. Yeah, so those are 3 ways that you can have sex with your long distance partner. You know, keep things interesting, right?